Welcome back to my channel. Today, we explore the value of specific coins, the most valuable 5-cent Jefferson nickel coin, value in market in dollar. So let's get started. First up, the 1987 Jefferson nickel. Even though millions were made, certain examples in better condition are becoming harder to find today, especially coins graded in extra fine condition or higher. The 1987 Jefferson nickel was struck at the Denver Mint, which is marked by the small D mint mark on the front of the coin near Jefferson's portrait. This coin was produced during a time when the United States Mint was making huge numbers of coins for circulation. Because of this, many people assume the coin has no collector value at all. However, experienced collectors understand that condition is everything in the coin collecting world. The Jefferson nickel series first began in 1938 and has remained one of the most collected American coins ever produced. The front of the coin features President Thomas Jefferson, while the back shows his famous Virginia home known as Monticello. The design has become iconic in American history, and collectors continue searching through pocket change hopping to find high-quality examples worth saving. A 1987 Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition usually shows moderate wear but still keeps strong details. Jefferson's hair remains visible, the face still has sharp features, and the Monticello building on the reverse continues to display clear lines and structure. Coins in this condition have spent years in circulation, but they still appear attractive to collectors because they maintain much of their original detail. In today's market, a normal 1987 Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition is commonly worth more than face value. Most examples sell between 10 cents and 50 cents depending on overall appearance, color, and detail. While this may not sound like a massive amount of money, it is still several times higher than the original 5-cent value of the coin. The real excitement begins when collectors discover better condition examples. Coins that remain uncirculated with bright luster and sharp details can sell for several dollars or even much more. Some rare examples with exceptional quality have reached impressive auction prices, especially when they display full steps on the reverse side. The full steps designation is one of the most important features collectors search for on Jefferson nickels. On the back of the coin, the Monticello building has steps at the bottom. If those steps appear complete, sharp, and uninterrupted, the coin may qualify as a full steps example. This feature is difficult to find because many coins were weakly struck at the mint or became damaged in circulation over time. Collectors place a premium on full steps nickels because they represent superior strike quality. A 1987 Jefferson nickel with full steps in high mint condition can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on grade. That is why many collectors carefully inspect old nickels under magnification hopping to discover a hidden treasure. Another factor that affects value is professional grading. Companies such as PCGS and NGC evaluate coins based on condition and preservation. Once a coin receives an official grade and is sealed in a protective holder, collectors often feel more confident purchasing it. Certified coins usually bring stronger prices because buyers trust the grading standards of professional companies. Many coin hunters also search for mint errors on the 1987 Jefferson nickel. Mint errors are mistakes that happen during the production process at the United States Mint. These errors can include doubled dies, off-center strikes, clip planchets, die cracks, or other unusual features. Error coins are often rare and highly collectible because no two mistakes are exactly alike. One of the most exciting parts of coin collecting is that valuable coins can still be found in everyday circulation. Many collectors search bank rolls filled with nickels hopping to discover older dates, Silver War nickels, or coins with rare errors. This hobby is known as coin roll hunting, and thousands of collectors across America participate in it every day. The 1987 Jefferson nickel is made from a combination of copper and nickel. The coin contains 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighs 5 grams, and has a plain edge. Although it does not contain silver or gold, collectors still appreciate the coin because of its historical significance and collectible potential. Coin collecting remains popular because almost anyone can participate. Unlike expensive hobbies that require large amounts of money, coin collecting often begins with simple pocket change. A person might discover a valuable coin while cleaning a drawer, checking a piggy bank, or searching through old family collections. Stories like these continue inspiring new collectors every year. If you own a 1987 Jefferson nickel, take a close look at the coin under good lighting. Examine Jefferson's hair and facial features carefully. Then flip the coin over and inspect the Monticello building. Pay special attention to the steps at the bottom. If the details appear strong and complete, your coin could be more valuable than you think. Coin values continue changing as collector demand rises and high-quality examples become harder to locate. Even modern coins can become valuable over time when collectors begin competing for the best surviving pieces. That is why many collectors choose to save older nickels instead of spending them. The next time you receive change from a store or empty coins from your pocket, do not ignore the nickels. One small 5-cent coin could hold surprising value depending on its condition and rarity. The 1987 Jefferson nickel may appear ordinary at first glance, but for collectors, it represents an important piece of American coin history. Sometimes the most valuable discoveries are hiding in the places people least expect. A simple nickel sitting unnoticed in a jar today could become a collector's prize tomorrow. That is what makes coin collecting exciting for millions of people around the world. Every coin tells a story, and every pocket change search carries the possibility of uncovering a hidden treasure. Next up, the 1983 Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary 5-cent piece that you would normally spend without a second thought. But in certain conditions, and with the right level of preservation, it can hold more value than face value in today's coin market. The Jefferson nickel series has been part of American currency since 1938, featuring Thomas Jefferson on the front and his historic Monticello home on the back. By 1983, the U.S. Mint was producing nickels in extremely large quantities, and the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of them. Because of this high mintage, the 1983 nickel is not considered rare in general circulation, and most examples you find today are still only worth their face value of 5 cents. However, coin value is not just about mintage. Condition plays a very important role in determining what collectors are willing to pay. When we talk about coin grading, condition is everything. A coin that has been heavily circulated, scratched, and worn down will usually have no premium value. But when the same coin is preserved in better condition, even if it has been used in circulation, its value can increase. One of the important mid-level grades that collectors often look at is extra fine condition, also known as EF40 in professional grading terms. In this condition, the coin shows light to moderate wear, but most of the major design details are still sharp and clearly visible. On a Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition, you can still see strong facial features of Jefferson, and the hair details are mostly defined, although slightly flattened on the highest points. On the reverse side, Monticello still shows clear architectural lines, columns, and structure, even though some of the finer details may show slight wear from circulation. For a 1983 Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition, the value in today's coin market is generally modest but still higher than face value. Most of these coins typically sell in the range of about $1 to $5 depending on demand, eye appeal, and the exact quality of the strike. While this may not sound like a large amount, it is still significantly more than 5 cents, and it shows how even common coins can gain collectible value when preserved well. However, not all extra fine coins are valued exactly the same. Small differences in appearance can affect the price. For example, if the coin has strong original luster remaining, meaning it still has some shine when rotated under light, collectors may value it slightly higher. If the coin has fewer contact marks, less surface damage, and a cleaner overall look, it becomes more attractive to buyers. Eye appeal is a big factor in numismatics, even within the same grade range. Another important detail that can influence value is the quality of the strike. In many Jefferson nickels from the 1980s, the reverse design on Monticello is often weakly struck, especially the steps at the base of the building. Coins that show sharper, more complete details are more desirable. In higher mint state coins, collectors specifically look for what is called full steps. But even in extra fine condition, clearer detail can still improve desirability and slightly increase value. It is also important to understand that the 1983 D nickel is not a key date coin. A key date is a coin that is rare due to low mintage or survival rate. In this case, the mintage is very high, which means supply is not limited. Because of that, most of the value comes from condition rather than rarity. This is why even well-preserved examples usually remain affordable for collectors. Sometimes people also confuse regular circulation coins with error coins, thinking every older coin might be rare. While error coins do exist, the standard 1983 D Jefferson nickel does not have widely recognized major errors that consistently increase value. However, if a coin does show unusual characteristics such as off-center striking, missing details, or unusual planchet issues, then it may be worth more, but such cases must be verified carefully by experts. In the current coin market, most extra-fine 1983 D Jefferson nickels are collected by beginners who are building complete Jefferson nickel sets. Dealers may offer small premiums above face value, while private collectors might pay a few dollars depending on condition and demand at the time. It is not a coin that will make someone rich, but it is still part of U.S. mint history and remains a nice collectible for those interested in coin collecting. Overall, the 1983 D Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition represents a good example of how everyday pocket change can still have collectible value. While it is not rare and will not bring large profits, it does show a small but meaningful increase in worth when preserved in better condition. Its typical value today stays around $1 to $5, with slight variations depending on quality and collector interest. So the next time you come across a 1983 D nickel, take a closer look before spending it. Even though it may seem ordinary, coins like this are part of a long history of American currency, and in the right condition, they can still bring a small reward to collectors who appreciate them. Coin collecting is not always about finding something extremely rare or expensive. Sometimes it is about noticing the small details that most people ignore, and that is where the real excitement begins. Next up, the 1987 D Jefferson nickel, and what it is worth in today's coin market, especially if it is in good condition. The 1987 D Jefferson nickel was produced at the Denver Mint in the United States. It features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front and his historic home, Monticello, on the back. This design has been used for many years, which makes it one of the most familiar coin designs in American history. In 1987, the United States Mint produced a very large number of these coins. In fact, hundreds of millions were struck that year, which means the coin was made for everyday circulation rather than for collectors. Because of such a high mintage, the 1987 D Jefferson nickel is not considered rare. Most of these coins entered circulation and were used in daily transactions such as shopping, vending machines, and banking. As a result, the majority of surviving examples today show normal wear and tear. These circulated coins typically do not carry any significant premium above their face value. In most situations, a 1987 D Jefferson nickel found in regular pocket change is still worth only 5 cents. However, condition is one of the most important factors in determining coin value. When collectors talk about condition, they refer to how much wear a coin has experienced. A coin in good condition usually shows visible wear, flat areas on the high points, and reduced sharpness in details. Even in this condition, the 1987D nickel remains very common and does not gain much value. In the current market, such coins generally still sell for face value, or maybe a little more if sold in bulk to collectors who need it for a set. As we move into higher grades of condition, such as very fine or extremely fine, the coin will have more visible detail and less wear. Even then, because the coin is modern and heavily produced, its value remains quite low. In many cases, even an extremely fine 1987D Jefferson nickel might only reach a small premium, often around a few cents to maybe $1 depending on the buyer and demand. The real jump in value usually comes when a coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition. A mint state coin is one that has never been used in circulation and still maintains its original luster and sharp details. A 1987D nickel in mint state condition, especially higher grades like MS65 or above, can sometimes be worth a few dollars. In rare situations, top-grade examples with exceptional eye appeal might sell for slightly more, but it is still not considered a high-value coin in general numismatic terms. Another important factor that collectors look for is something called full steps on the reverse side of the coin, which shows the steps of Monticello clearly and completely without any breaks. Coins with strong strikes and full step details are more desirable to collectors. If a 1987D Jefferson nickel has a full steps designation in high mint state condition, it can bring a higher premium compared to normal examples. Still, even these coins usually remain affordable and are not considered rare treasures. It is also important to address a common misunderstanding. Many online videos and social media posts sometimes claim that common coins like the 1987D Jefferson nickel are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. While it is true that rare error coins or exceptionally high-grade certified examples can sometimes reach higher values, these cases are extremely rare. Most coins that people find in circulation are standard issues and do not carry extraordinary value. There are a few special cases where value can increase, such as mint errors. These can include off-center strikes, double strikes, or other unusual minting mistakes. Error coins are collected separately and can sometimes be worth more depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error. However, for the 1987D nickel, major errors are not commonly found, and most examples remain standard circulation coins. In today's coin market, demand also plays a role. Jefferson nickels from the 1980s are generally easy to find in circulation or coin rolls, which keeps their value low. Collectors who build full sets of Jefferson nickels usually have no difficulty finding this date, which further reduces its premium. So, if you come across a 1987D Jefferson nickel in your change, it is still a nice coin to keep for a collection, but it is important to have realistic expectations. In good circulated condition, it is worth its face value of 5 cents. In higher uncirculated grades, it may be worth a few dollars at most. Only in very special cases involving top grading or unique errors does the value increase beyond that range. In conclusion, the 1987D Jefferson nickel is a common modern U.S. coin that holds more historical and collecting interest than actual monetary value. It represents an important part of American coinage history, but it is not considered rare in today's market. For new collectors, it is a great coin to study and add to a collection, but it should not be expected to bring significant profit unless it is in exceptional condition or has a rare mint error.